have like 4 months left of high school before I fly away and never come back, so let's talk about creepy teachers. I'm still questioning how any of these people got hired and stayed at their job for a good while, so yeah, let's begin with my long-term math substitute. I will say that like he technically wasn't a licensed teacher, he was just a long-term sub for my math like class junior year because my teacher got pregnant and gave birth to a baby, so lo and behold, we introduced Mr. Toucan. Before my teacher left for her pregnancy, she informed us that Mr. Toucan was basically going to be our long term sub, and he was a teacher that went to MIT. I honestly don't believe this, and I don't think this is true. She probably was lying. Plus, the fact that he was a professor at some college in like Connecticut or something. I was like, what if I like search him up on like Rate My Professor, and like that's basically what I ended up doing anyway, and we found him. He had a 5.0. Um, I There were so many comments praising his teaching, and I just want to say that these people are a bunch of liars. Like they must have been bribed with like a good grade or something to give him a good rating. The first thing Mr. Toucan does when he arrives is basically pull up a picture of my teacher's newborn baby on like he puts it on the projector, the projector, and he's like, guys, this is a healthy baby girl, okay? And don't let anyone tell you otherwise, that it can be a boy or whatever, or none of that nonsense. It's a girl. I'm already like, okay, this is gonna be a rough rest of the year throughout like his teaching us, like quote unquote teaching us. Basically lost count how many times he called us the R star and that we were stupid idiots that didn't deserve to be in the class that we are in because it was like a higher like advanced class or whatever. Like, okay. And basically, every time he tried to teach us something, he would do the problem on the board, and we would ask him, we'd be like, "Hey, how'd you get that?" And he was like, he would look back at us, and he was like, "You just do." Okay, so helpful. The best way I can describe how he looks, basically for visual purposes, is like he's SpongeBob's dad combined with a witch that's like balding. He was like balding in many spots. It was terrifying. He had a weird obsession with this one mixed kid in my class, and he would always be hanging around it. I mean, always. He would always be by his desk, like leaning over or sitting on his desk, even. And he would ask really creepy things like, "Oh, how'd your football game go last night?" Or like, the weekend before. And he's like, "Ooh, is that a hair pick? You think I can use that too?" Like as a joke. He's literally balding. And creepy. He just always had to reiterate the fact that like men and women are separate, and his transphobia like shined through every single class. I finally thought I was free from his clutches, and well, this year he comes into my calculus class, and I remembered why I hate life so much. Honestly, it wasn't too bad compared to the next teacher who really did some not so legal things. Let's introduce him and call him Mr. Turtle. Mr. Turtle, he taught English 3 for juniors, and I've never had him because I took a different English class with a different teacher. But I had some friends who took him, right? And Mr. Turtle was the creep of creeps, and he would hang around students, like female students, all of the time, like asking them to stay after class for one-on-one teaching. One time he asked a girl what she was drinking and asked to see her water bottle, and like she said it was water with like an electrolyte packet, and he literally took the water bottle out of her hands and he takes a sip of it, lips and everything, and it was like, ooh, that tastes good. Okay. In another class period, a girl was wearing a jacket to cover up being dress coded, and he told her that she should take it off and stop hiding the good stuff. Uh, right. Yeah, okay. Like one day, though, after I walked out of my fourth period anatomy class, which is basically like in the same building as where this guy's Mr. Turtle's classroom was, and I walked out and there was like a crowd of students, and I'm like I add on to being the crowd, and he was being detained and grabbed by the sheriffs on our campus, and he was being escorted off of campus. Like he went out of the gate with the sheriffs, and well, he never came back, so he poofed, and I guess that being creepy pedo to high school girls finally caught up to him. Last up, we have my very culturally fetishizing Spanish teacher in my freshman year of high school. Let's call him Mr. Tim or Don Timo because that is literally the name he went by, but it's not even close to his actual first or last name, so I don't even care to change it. He just refused to go by a Mr. or like teacher and only the Spanish equivalent. Don Timo was very much into Spanish culture, maybe a little too much. I swear every class he talked about his wife like a Korean boo does their Korean boyfriend about his Mexican wife. My Mexican wife and I went to Mexico to eat Mexican food while feeling so Mexican. He told the stories I read about his wife and just had to mention the fact that she was Mexican 5 different times, like as if we didn't get it, like it didn't clock to us the first time in the same sentence. The incident was during an oral like test where I had to go up to him and basically speak Spanish for a grade, and it was a restaurant related unit. And after he stopped me and goes, So I don't want to assume or anything, but like I'm assuming from your last name, are you Chinese? And I'm like, huh? Oh, like, yeah, I am. Like, what's that have to do with anything though? Anyways, though, and he adds on, well, my wife and I love Chinese food. Like, we like love it. And I have like a very basic Chinese last name. It's like I'm not gonna say it obviously, but you can probably guess from the many common basic last names that there is. And he's like, well, like I feel like you know some good Chinese food places to eat because you're Chinese. I was like, well, I don't really know. I don't like okay, I'm Chinese, but I don't really eat Chinese food outside. If I did, my mom would probably beat me because like why would I go out to eat Chinese food if I have Chinese food at home? Yeah, like honestly, I never want to see him again. And I like this year, I was walking the hallway and I saw him and he said hi to me and how I was doing. I was like, haha, I'm doing fine. Yeah, I actively avoid him now. I literally go the other way. Like I can't like to go like a whole different route to get to my class. Okay, well that wraps up today's shenanigans and rants about weird stuff that happens to me and teachers just being weirdos. Totally like and subscribe and check out my Discord server in the bio. Tee Bye.